Well, the release of Project Motor Racing is nearly upon us, and we're getting pretty excited for the actual launch day. And mate, I can't wait to get behind the wheel. Before that, though, we do have another gameplay trailer to look at, and this one actually looks pretty promising, doesn't it, Smitty?
Yes, yeah, they're going to show us what they've put together with the pad. So let's see how that goes. It's going to be very interesting to see what sort of levels of access this game will give, and how well it will be on a controller.
So we're at the Nurburgring, and we're in a 992 Porsche, latest and greatest Porsche GT3 car at the moment. And I mean, look, the first thing off the bat, how cold is it on this particular day? I mean, the tyres are struggling to keep up to temp as it is. You're on mediums, and they're still blue, and we're at the carousel already.
Yeah, and the fact that it's the second lap too, and we're still struggling to develop front tyre temperature. Yes, it is a porker, and yes, it does work those rear tyres, but still, we're 14 odd degrees lower than the rears. It's definitely cold out there today. You can see with the overcast conditions as well.
Yeah, yeah. And look, right off the bat, I gotta say it, the controller handling does look very accessible. This entire gameplay is the controller with the default assists, with the default, basically as you're going to get it out of the box. And I mean, dude, that looks comfortable. It looks natural. Dare I say it, it looks realistic. It looks like the sort of, if that's the pick up and play settings, then that's got to be awesome for accessibility.
Yeah, it's looking. There's you can see lots of little micro corrections there, which we expect to see. You look at the car as it goes over bumps. Yes, you're getting the steering wheel movement as well, but it's not over exaggerated. Even through the carousel, which is probably one of the lumpiest bits of racetrack you will take on, it looks to be what we'd expect to see. Even there's a few little moments there where there's a few little slides and a few corrections there. There's a reasonable amount of steering lock, but we're not talking 45 degrees. We're not talking 90. It looks like it is very well optimized for controller, which is what we're hoping, which makes it a lot more accessible for your casual gamer that's going to jump in and say, oh, let's give this a go, other than previous titles in the past from other developers where you buy the game and you try it with a pad and you go, oh no, I can't even drive this. Now what do I do with it? Oh, I've got to go and buy a steering wheel. This doesn't look like that'll be the case.
Yeah, certainly right. And I mean, I even know some racers who have qualified for very, very big events on the controller, and they've gone on to have a wheel and be just as good as the best of them. And I mean, yeah, like you say, you really hit the nail on the head. It looks very pick up and play, but by the same token, they haven't left out the hardcore guys who are chasing that authentic sim racing experience with the wheel, with the pedals, with the shifter too. We've got a few older cars that I hope the H pattern shifters will be completely compatible. But the other thing I want to talk about too is this head cam. Now I'm guessing that this must be the almost the helmet cam. You know, most games if they've got the cockpit camera, they'll have a static fixed cockpit, and then they'll have the sort of the one that sort of moves and pretends that you are the driver, right? And I want to point out too, just with this one, you don't actually see much looking to the apex. Some of the games previous, you see the way that the driver sort of looks around, it can get a bit discombobulating. But this one looks very natural, looks very, you know, you sort of see the bumps on the road, but most of them are being absorbed by, well, what's supposed to be the driver's neck. Um, you know, leaving only the biggest of bumps and curb hops and stuff for you to really bounce around in.
Yeah, it looks very usable. There's been games in the past where I haven't been able to use the head cam because there's just way too much range of motion there. When you're trying to focus on apexes and exits and the rest of that, you find yourself you're having to adjust all the time, and it can almost lead to some form of motion sickness if you keep it up. Where I don't think we're going to have that effect here. It looks like it's very well implemented.
Also noticing too, I mean, like I said, this entire gameplay trailer has been recorded on the pad. The inputs on the steering wheel look very fluid. Like it's not just immediate lock to lock in half a second, because obviously with your thumbs you can do that with the toggles. I mean, here you're seeing micro corrections. You're seeing that sort of feeling for grip, that real, you know, he's not scrubbing the tires hard, but by the same time, I mean, we know he's not scrubbing the tires hard because they're still bloody blue. But you know, you're seeing that naturalistic, very. I'd be very keen to see the smoothing, and that, to be fair, is probably the only issue I've got with this trailer, is you don't have an idea of inputs or the actual human input on the throttle, on the brakes, on the steering to really compare how the car's behaving.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It'd be really nice to know how much wheel angle we're looking input-wise, how much throttle smoothing, how much steering smoothing's going on. Of course, when you're on a pad, there's always going to be an amount of smoothing. We understand that. It's just about whereabouts they've found the happy medium with that. And unfortunately, because there's a lack of HUD data here, we can't see that.
Yeah, yeah. And look, you know, they got to keep some secrets for release day. I get that, but no, look, I mean, again, if we can take one thing away from this trailer, it is that you're going to be able to play it out the box on a controller. You're going to be able to play it out the box on your latest DD. Also, we're noticing no new content has been teased here. There's no new cars. There's no new tracks. We're at the Nordschleife. We're chasing an NSX. We've got an Aston up our ass. But I mean, like I said, that's not really the point of this trailer. The point is to showcase the out the box handling, and I definitely think there's a lot of reasons to be excited on this one, eh, Scott?
Yes, yeah, I think this is a move in the right direction. This can ultimately bridge a gap in the console racing market where we have your GT7. Let's say it, people will hate it, but it's a Simcade. Then you go to your other end of the scale, like people who have still got a hold of project cars or something like a Assetto Corsa Competizione, where it was you had to really have a wheel to get into the project cars or the ACC. You could do Gran Turismo on a controller and move to a wheel. Here, it's looked like they've put themselves straight in the middle. It's like, here guys, you've got your DD, let's go and race. Guys, you want to come in and have a go on a controller? Yes, we can do that too. And yes, you look like you'll be able to be competitive. You won't be left for dead. Yes, there's going to be advantages with a steering wheel. We all know that. But at least you can get in here, have a good go, and make some reasonable progress.
Yeah, certainly right, mate. And of course, we're going to be following the launch of this game, and you know, as soon as it drops, I mean, I've pre-ordered it, you've pre-ordered it. As soon as it drops, I'm fairly certain we're going to be trying some cars and having some races, even just some friendly competition. Maybe we'll do some stream stuff, but yeah, right here, right now, this definitely looks like you say, it's a step in the right direction. There's a few reasons to be skeptical, but there's certainly way more reasons to be excited about the release of Project Motor Racing coming very, very soon. Keep it tuned on Hooncorp. We'll be doing more of this.